Rookie center Joe Tippmann impressed almost everyone in his snaps against the Carolina Panthers. So let's take a look at the All-22 and I'll show you why PFF is wrong again. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's Luke here from Play Like a Jet, and we are back in the film room with another All-22 breakdown. And today we're going to take a look at some of Joe Tippmann's snap from his second preseason action. Once again, I thought he took great strides in the right direction, but PFF didn't agree. They gave him a 46.7 overall grade, which is absurd when I looked at the tape. Did Joe Tippmann miss a couple of blocks in the running game? Yes, he did. He ended up on the floor a couple of times as well. But overall, I thought he was fantastic, especially in pass protection. He was perfect. So let's jump into the film right now. To start the video, we're going to take a look at Joe Tippmann's vision, because that's something I had some minor concerns about when I was watching him at Wisconsin, but it was really impressive against the Panthers. Tippmann's the center, number 66, and I want you to focus your eyes off the snap on the right-hand side of your screen. As we let this roll, Mekhi Becton's going to attempt a cut block and miss. The left guard leaks out, so Joe Tippmann saves the day. So as we can see, number 77, left tackle Mekhi Becton goes for a chop block and misses. Ends up on the ground, and the defensive end is just loose. So as a result, you're going to see the left guard kind of leaks out to his left to try and cover that. That means Joe Tippmann has to take the 3 technique. And boy, does he do a phenomenal job. Head on a swivel, great eyes, blocks number 92. Not only does he run him around the little hoop on the interior here, he blocks him straight into the vacant end as well. Joe Tippmann blocks not only one, but 2 players when he had no primary responsibility. He has a help blocker here in this look, but because Mekhi Becton misses on the cut, it's all about Joe Tippmann's ability to work the tackle, and he does a phenomenal job. He throws that man to the floor. Joe Tippmann saving the day. Great vision, great understanding of the play, and then keeps Zach Wilson upright with a fantastic block. Gets those hands underneath the armpit, great positioning, and drives him into the backfield. That is how you save your quarterback and your left tackle. And on this next play, we're going to visit stunts, because again, this is an area where Tippmann looked a little bit iffy against the Browns last week. Cleaned it up already. Center of your screen here, Joe Tippmann passing off the lead, but having the wherewithal, the understanding, and the feel to come off that block and to square up and take the looper on the backside of the stunt. This is what you want to see from Joe Tippmann. As soon as you feel that defensive tackle leaking out and setting up for this stunt, you need to come off it. Head on a swivel, great vision, bang, square shoulders, excellent contact. Now, the Panthers, for someone who ran a vanilla defense, according to Frank Reich, certainly were pretty complex up front. They run a double loop here. This isn't on Joe Tippmann, this second guy coming through the gap. This is actually because you can see the defensive tackle is holding the left guard. He's not giving him a chance to pass off to Mekhi Becton. Becton has to scramble to the inside. But one more time, focus on Joe Tippmann. A fantastic job feeling the stunt and then squaring up on the looper. That's how you want to handle it. This is a step in the right direction. Now we get to enjoy the blocking in space and movement skills that Joe Tippmann possesses. This screen is perfectly executed from the Jets rookie center. I want you to watch off the snap how Joe Tippmann is patient. He doesn't get more than 2 yards from the line of scrimmage. It's not an illegal man downfield, but then once it's time to block this screen, look how well he moves. Fluid, great change of direction to get to the linebacker and then hip flip to seal him to the outside, to give the running back a lane and to block this off correctly. Not only that, he's physical on contact, he gets some leg drive and ends up pushing the linebacker 5 yards past the line of scrimmage and the tackle. This is what you want to see from an athletic center in a zone blocking scheme. Get him out in space, show off the fluidity, and do a great job blocking at the second level. This is the bread and butter of Joe Tippmann's game. I could watch this all day long. Be patient off the snap, get out, and then block to perfection. That's how you handle a screen if you're a center. But for Joe Tippmann, the standard pass rushing reps were just as well handled. You're going to see him here with a shaded nose, number 66. Look what a great job he does getting tight inside hands and establishing dominance early in this rep. One of the knocks I had on Tippmann coming out of college was that he would parachute his hands. What I mean by that is, off the snap, he'd snap the ball and his arms would go wide like he's bear hugging the defensive tackle. Not here. You can't even see the hands of Joe Tippmann coming to the screen. He is tight. He is controlling the chest of the defensive tackle. And not only that, look how he then moves his beautiful wide base through the block. Keep your lower half engaged. We're going to move with him, match and mirror, and he keeps the left arm down. This is huge. You can see Zach Wilson throwing over the middle, needs to find a lane. Well, we're going to make sure we keep the tackle's arm down here, because if that defensive lineman gets his arms up, this could be a battered ball. Tippmann does a nice job keeping that left arm up, and Zach Wilson's able to fit in the throw. But he made the easy look easy. Tight hands, good base width, nice movement of his lower half. This was a really pretty pass rep from Joe Tippmann, and that was a theme throughout this entire game. Let's pivot now to some of the run blocking snaps that Tippmann had against the Panthers. I acknowledge it wasn't perfect, but a 46 overall PFF grade is absurd. Off the snap, look how Joe does a great job overcoming a hold from the nose tackle, kicking out the linebacker and still opening up this lane. Now it doesn't look pretty, but you know why that is? It's because of the right hand of the defensive tackle. Look how number 55's arm is clinging onto the shoulder pad of Joe Tippmann. You might ask yourself, why is a defensive tackle trying to hold? It's because he wants to prevent Joe Tippmann from climbing to the second level and getting to his linebacker's chest. Tippmann says no. Look how he works through the hold and that contact, disengages, and then has the vision to pick up the linebacker and kick him out. This is almost perfect from Joe Tippmann in the running game. He overcomes the contact, he works through that outside play shoulder, and then the block on number 57, he doesn't get hands to the back, he works underneath the armpit and kicks him out of the way. That is a well-executed combo block from a guy who's overcoming a hold from a nose tackle. This is what you want to see from your center in this type of zone blocking scheme. Impressive from Joe Tippmann. But on this play, just sit back and enjoy the fluidity of the man. 300 pounds? They shouldn't move like this. Joe Tippmann climbing to the second level. Great job blocking number 57, and that spin move from Izzy Abanikanda is filthy. But once again, focus your attention on Joe Tippmann. Look how easily he moves. He's like a dancing bear. The little steps, the change of direction, and look how he gets his hands tight. That left arm is really worked inside the chest here. He reworks that other right hand back to the chest and then allows Izzy Abanikanda to have ample space to the inside. That's what you want to see. If you're climbing, make sure you engage, you stonewall, and you seal, and Joe Tippmann does exactly that. A phenomenal job on both of those reps. And the last rep we're going to look at is a great example of overcoming adversity, recovering. I mention this a lot. It's not always perfect in the trenches, but it's about how you bounce back. Off the snap here, you're going to watch Joe Tippmann get blown away. Great extension and hand placement from number 76. He's got Joe Tippmann moving backwards at the point of attack, and he's in a perfect position to two-gap here against the run. Well, Joe Tippmann responds. He works those hands inside. Look how he starts to reach with the left arm to find the chest of the defensive tackle. And right now is key. He feels the defensive tackle try and work to the right-hand side. He's trying to wade through to two-gap and to hit his responsibility. Tippmann uses that momentum. He engages his lower half, and look how he just works it. He marches the defensive tackle back 5 yards and throws him on the floor for a pancake. This was going to be a loss for Joe Tippmann, but he has the ability to anchor, to be patient, and use the force and inertia of the defensive tackle against him. This is a great recovery job and almost leads to a touchdown for the Jets. Don't panic if you lose immediately off the line of scrimmage. Be patient, trust your technique, and use the momentum of the defensive tackle. Great response from Joe Tippmann. So guys, that's why I think PFF got Joe Tippmann's grade dead wrong against the Carolina Panthers. Again, I'm not saying it was perfect, but he took strides in the right direction, and as a result, he's seeing first team reps for the Jets in practice.